Lolo. And you also know her as Adaku. Well, Adaku, even though Jenifa chooses to call her Adaku
Adaku.
on Jenifa's diaries. Welcome, Adaku.
It's a pleasure to be here. I'm very excited.
Well, she's Lolo, but her real name is Omotunde Adeboale David. I mean, this lady right here is actually, she's a Yoruba lady, and she behaves so much like Igbo on that program. It's just incredible. Adaku is an award-winning on-air personality, comedian, and actress. She actually studied law at the Lagos State University, practiced for a few years before she switched to broadcasting, a passion she had earlier nursed. Having worked on the radio for over a decade, Lolo took a bow out of radio broadcasting last year, and now she's taken up a new cap as a film producer, and she is the producer of the movie Love Is Not Enough. Now, so you went from law to broadcasting, from broadcasting to production. Now, tell us how that waka.
I think, no, something is missing here.
Something is missing?
Yeah.
Okay.
From law to broadcasting to acting to comedy and now to production.
Ngwa. Tell us how they wakad.
Well, I think we're just creatures of our own passion. I think all my life, I just call myself, I call myself an art form. An art form, you can just decide to, showcase any side of you that you enjoy. I do music. I have music coming out before the end of the year also. So it's a lot of things I enjoy doing. And I said to myself, I was just going to do everything that I enjoy doing. And that's what I've been doing.
Why did you study law in the first place?
Law for me is like, from my generation, your parents just believe if you're not a lawyer, doctor, or an engineer, you didn't have anything. So I had to give that to them because they wanted me to do it.
Oh.
So I gave them law, and I actually practiced so that my father can rest well in his grave. But, as I went on, I just knew I wanted to do something different. And entertainment was just my calling. And I started out with radio. I've done radio for so long. I'm still doing radio, actually. And now I started doing some acting over the years. Now I'm producing my own films. I'm just living my dreams, I think.
Are you still acting?
Yes, I'm acting. In fact, I'm still doing radio. I'm general manager of a new radio station presently. And, you
have a full-time job?
I do have a full-time job.
So how much time do you have for acting and producing?
What I just do is I try to prioritize everything I do. I put into schedules so that nothing is going to be affected for the other. And since I enjoy everything I do, I put time to it. Sometimes when I'm done at work at 4, I drive all the way to Jenifa's diary to shoot. The scene one knows my schedule, and they make sure that I work when I'm off work, and they put everything together. This film was produced during my leave period. I made sure that I put time aside to be able to put it together. So I did that. So.
In all of this, when you still have time for family?
Yes.
Because I see some of the pictures you post of you and your kids.
My children. For me, for women, I think we're born to do this. I think we're natural multitaskers, maybe by creation. The only thing you need to do is learn how to schedule yourself to be able to achieve everything you want to do. I love my kids. In fact, my children are watching presently. And they're like, okay, mommy, go to Sunrise and have fun. But for me as a woman, I'm even a single mom, it makes me more focused, that I know that, okay, I want to do this, and I want my children to be carried along as well. So I make sure that everything is put in proper schedules. I woke up early enough to be able to get everybody ready. I know that, okay, mommy's going out. She's going to be back at this time. We work. I have a great support system, and I just want to keep blazing.
Tell us about your time on radio. Was it fun?
I love radio. I love broadcasting. I love the art of speaking. Because for me, radio is so unique, because everything I'm doing now, we all do. every one of us as a broadcaster. There's some people, I've watched you for years, and I'll look at you and you're mentoring me without even having met me. That's how it is for me on radio. You're different things to different people. Some people see me like a sister figure. Some see me like a girlfriend. Some will see you like their mother. So that means I can morph into so many roles and enjoy it comfortably. And that's what I love most about radio. Just the ability to play many parts.
And be faceless.
Yes, but no longer faceless, because most radio stations right now are virtual stations. That means it's like radio run like TV. You can watch online, you can see what's happening in the studio. Unlike before that, you'd have to take time to get to know us.
Okay. All right. But since you decided to take these other things, the acting bit of you, tell us how that worked for you. The experience, how you, how do I say that, how you morphed, let me use the word,
Exactly.
morphed into the acting roles and the different roles you had to play.
When Funke offered me Jenifa, when Funke offered me Adaku, honestly, I think I'm more Igbo inside than I'm Yoruba. It's nothing.
Is your
like,
mother Igbo?
Nothing. And I would tell you my influence was our neighbors. When I was growing up, my father, we always had Igbo neighbors. And they were so fantastic that there was a man that I never met. I don't even know who he was. When we go to church, I'll see him outside his house with his family. And somebody told me he's an Igbo man. His wife would sit on a stool. And he would sit down and bath their children. And the woman would sit beside him and do nothing. And somebody pointed and said he was an Igbo man. You would not believe, as a child, that single act influenced my life. And I began to see that, okay, maybe because they're Igbo, that's why the guy is so good. That's why their family is so wholesome. On top of that, all our neighbors are Igbos.
Did you end up marrying an Igbo man?
No. I married an Igbo man, but maybe my next marriage, maybe it will go there or not. I don't know. We're still watching to see.
Because the man was bathing the baby.
Yeah, just something simple like that.
Okay, so childhood memories influenced you. Now you're into acting, and you're more Igbo inside than you're Yoruba, according by you.
Yeah.
But one of the things I'll ask when we'll come back from this break is how you managed to switch from Queen's English to wetin they do
Adaku.
now.
How you doing now?
How you do? Wetin they happen? We'll talk about that when we come back from this break. Just stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. We still have Lolo 1. Motunde Adebowale David.
Why is she pretending to
I
be
don't
shy?
know. I don't get
What's
it.
that about?
That guy is my friend. I've known him for a couple of years, but I've never sat in his chair. So I'm looking at him like, okay, comport yourself.
You are on air.
Yeah.
So how do you manage to switch? I mean, you speak well, but most of the characters you play are you're not like you choose to play the part of the not too educated. So how do you do that?
Sometimes
Do you choose the roles or the roles choose you?
I think the roles choose me. Most of the time, producers in Nigeria like to look at someone before they write something. So sometimes they've already written a role that they just think is going to suit me. So it's not like, I go for mainstream auditions to be able to represent myself. Most of them I'm called to do. So I guess they've already put it together before I come in.
But if you had a choice, what role would you like to?
Like for me, I'm beginning to say no to comic roles because I know a lot of people do not. Now when I've played some serious roles in recent times. Maybe some of them are not out yet. The character I played in my own film wasn't comic. She was a mother, actually. So I want to expand a little so that people will know my mettle and know that, okay, I can do a little more than they think. Even when I speak English or I'm comparing, people are like, how? I'm like, okay. But
Because they've cast you in
yeah,
that
they
Adaku
put you
role.
in a role. Like, this is how you should always make us laugh and just be
Yes.
funny. But there's so many other things I can do, and I have done.
Interesting. Lolo 1. What are you working on now?
Presently, I have a film out. It's premiering on Sunday. It's called When Love Is Not Enough. It's my very first production that is solo done by me. I produced the film like late 2018. I shot the film late 2018, and 2019 I did try to put it together. So now it's going to the cinemas from the 28th of February. It's a beautiful story. I know a lot of people I know a lot of people expected me to do comedy, but when I write, comedy doesn't come to me.
But you're a comedian.
I know. But when it comes to writing or what I want to tell as a story, I rather take it from an emotional point of view because that's who I am as a person. I'm very emotional. I like everything that.
So that
Yeah.
class we had was, you really enjoyed that, the last segment we had on
Uh,
emotional intelligence.
Yes. Oh, yes. I listened intensively. Yes, I did. Very intelligent, very, very intelligent man. I enjoyed it. So I wanted to do something a bit out of the box. And I know that people write films surrounding cancer, most diseases they know. But there are more debilitating diseases that people actually go through that they might not be able to put into words, but that's their own experience. And I did a little bit of research and I found out that multiple sclerosis is something really scary. Before I put this film together, I wanted to tell a story that is not just the regular, what people are used to. I wanted to drive conversations, even to people that are going through stuff that they might not be able to like explain, or maybe because it's not common, they can't see a lot of help coming in that direction. So that was why I had to say, okay, I wanted the character, the female character, to have multiple sclerosis. When I heard about when Zara Greta, she was one of our Nigerian artists, she had the disease and she passed on from it. I knew how traumatizing it was for her to be able to leave the disease before people and expect us to understand and accept. If it wasn't that I saw that, that was what made me look at it and say, okay, what is this really? And I found out that it's terminal. It just shuts your body down over time, and a lot of people might not understand it. Okay, I say, why don't you do something, shed a little more light on this, and some good might actually come out from it. Not knowing that a couple of years after, I'm going to have someone very close to me whose daughter presently was just diagnosed, and she's a very good friend. Imagine, she didn't even know the theme of my film, and she's going through. And just because I've done something like that, she knows that, okay, somebody understands this conversation, we can have it. And love doesn't have to be about, oh, you have it till the end. Some very good love stories can end badly, but it doesn't mean the experience was bad.
Oh, Lolo.
Matunde,
Good to have you with us. Now, by the way, somebody has been calling me and talking about our artists who come and say that they got their degrees for their parents. They should also be able to say that they got the degrees for themselves because they might need their degrees. I know you're watching and you wanted me to say this, and I have said it. I'm sure that if all else fails, Lolo would dust her law degree and go back to the chambers.
But it's fun because law actually is all encompassing. When you do law, you do almost, you take courses from almost every department: sociology, physiology, mathematics, statistics, so many things. So that means it's very well-rounded and balanced, so you can do anything.
Thank you for coming. I am so happy to have met you because you're one of my favorite characters in Jenifa's diary. So we wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
Lolo, Motunde Adeboale, David, thank you very much.
Thank you.